Right now at 6, Portland has a new camping ban effective immediately.
And I believe that this ordinance represents a significant step forward.
Plus, how a funding boost to clean up graffiti along Oregon highways has some taggers throwing more paint on their freshly scrubbed spots.
Everybody in this community knows that this is a problem.
Then, the outlook for wildfire season and why uneven snowpack is leaving some experts uneasy. And later,
well, hello, Oregon, it's Dolly.
As Dolly Parton expands her love for reading to leave more kids eager to turn the page.
Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. We begin at 6 with Portland City Council unanimously approving a new camping ban, one that has already gone into effect and that elected officials say is designed to withstand legal challenges. Let's get right to Blair Best live at City Hall with details on what is changing. Blair.
Well, a major focus for Mayor Ted Wheeler when making updates to this camping ban was creating it in a way that would survive legal challenges. So the main changes are lessening penalties and encouraging other services like treatment or shelter instead of criminal punishment. And we're told enforcement will begin in the coming weeks. Now, this all may sound familiar, and that's because last year, City Council passed a similar yet stricter camping ban, when if violated, homeless people would get a series of warnings before facing a $100 fine and or up to 30 days in jail. That was challenged in court, so Mayor Ted Wheeler revised it, lessening jail time to up to a week, replacing the warnings with options for diversion services, and making it so when shelter is not available, camping is allowed, but with many restrictions. The city says the goal here is to connect people with services instead of punishment. Now today, Commissioner Renee Gonzalez, despite voting yes, had major concerns.
Today's ordinance fails to state no camping in the city unconditional.
This ordinance has been carefully crafted with input from legal experts to ensure its legality and its enforceability.
I'm shocked. I didn't know about that. I mean, no word on nothing about it, so I don't know what to do now.
Now, the city's focus is teaching people about the ban, the changes to it, and what enforcement will look like. And as for that enforcement piece, we're told police will go through special training before they begin. David?
Yeah, still quite a few questions there. Blair Best outside City Hall this evening. Thank you, Blair. In your headlines tonight, a man has been arrested for murder nearly 2 months after a deadly shooting in downtown Portland. Authorities say the night of March 17th, Aaron Beasley was fatally shot on Southwest 10th near the Central Library. On Wednesday, police arrested 33-year-old Alexander Lewis in Gresham. Lewis appeared in court this afternoon and pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder and felony firearm possession. Staying in Portland, police need your help identifying a man who is suspected in a string of burglaries, primarily in the Northwest Hills and Washington Park areas. These photos of the suspect were recorded by home security cameras. Authorities say the burglaries, and they're not saying exactly how many, date back to 2022. If you recognize him, please call Portland Police. A Forest Grove man has been charged with theft after he allegedly stole some $10,000 worth of construction equipment. Washington County deputies say 40-year-old Sean Billman took the items from a business in North Plains last week. They say after the owner shared surveillance video of the theft online, a tip led deputies to the suspect's home where they found him and the stolen equipment. And with a big warm-up headed our way, a reminder that our rivers and lakes are still very cold. For example, the Sandy River at Oxbow Park was running around 44 degrees around noon. Experts say any water under 60 can induce cold water shock and increase the potential risk of drowning. Officials caution even when the water warms up, you should wear a life jacket when in natural water, swim with a buddy, and keep a close eye on children. Matt?
And it's going to be a while before the water warms up. Not so for the air. The air will warm up rapidly tomorrow and again Friday and Saturday and through the weekend. But the water takes a lot longer, especially when we're adding snow melt to it, which we begin to do today. So the lakes, rivers, and oceans very cold. Avoid the cold water shock. You can lose just motor function within minutes in this 44-degree water that we're talking about. Also, the avalanche danger is very high in the Cascades right now. This is basically the heart of climbing season with the nice weather. A lot of people would be tempted to go up on the mountain. Avoid the afternoons. That's when the snow is most likely to slide, and just be aware of the conditions and climb carefully because we had about 5 feet of new snow in the last 10 days. But even here in the valleys, we're going to have really low humidity. So if you're out for a run, gardening, playing ball, whatever it is, everybody's going to dehydrate very easily with the low humidity that we have. So make sure that everybody, your kids, your plants, your pets, and yourself all stay hydrated with the warm, dry weather that is on the way. Here's Mount Hood right now. Oh, it looks so good up there, but it is windy. We're getting gusts over 40 miles an hour up at the top of the Cascade Chairlift and Meadows right now. 44 degrees, not as windy at Timberline, but it is really quite windy. The gusts will be reaching about 35 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour tonight and tomorrow. The beach also very inviting. We got a few folks out there, but again, that water is chilly. It's 56 at Cannon Beach, but you're headed for the 70s there next couple days. So as far as 80 degrees go, our average first day to reach 80 degrees in Portland is today. We're going to do it tomorrow, so miss it by one day. That's all. As far as last year goes, we did it a bit earlier. 90s, they usually wait until the middle of June, but we're going to do that about a month early too. David?
Looking forward to getting outside. Thank you, Matt. We have an update this evening on efforts to remove prolific graffiti in the Rose City because it seems after ODOT allocated millions of dollars and then hired a contractor to clean up some spots, guess what? Taggers have decided to hit them again. Daisy Caballero is live along I-405 with the details, and Daisy, it just keeps coming.
Yeah, David, that's how many people are describing it, of course. And it's been nearly a month since crews have officially started to paint over graffiti along Portland highways. But the work is far from being completed.
It'd be nice to see it clean again.
Jack Berryman has been cleaning up graffiti in Portland for the last 2 years.
So usually you only need to do one coat of paint for these.
Berryman is with the Portland Graffiti Removal, the company the Oregon Department of Transportation chose to partner with to clean up highways and freeways around the Rose City as part of the $20 million spending bill from Oregon lawmakers.
Everybody in this community knows that this is a problem.
Don Hamilton with ODOT says crews started this work in the middle of April and have since painted over more than 1,100 sites. But unfortunately, taggers have already hit locations they've cleaned up.
We're working very much with police, and police have teams out there to try to bring these taggers to justice.
The same taggers Barrymore encounters occasionally while cleaning up what they consider artwork.
They usually just stare at us, give us dirty looks, and then go away for the most. They don't do a whole bunch. They just tell us don't buff our stuff, pretty much.
He also comes across trash, needles, and drugs on top of the tricky locations like this one that he needs to cover up.
If it helps me to get my job done, I'll clean some stuff up sometimes, but I'm not trying to get any like diseases or anything like that.
The $4 million for graffiti cleanup will be good until June of next year. After that, Hamilton says lawmakers may look over adding any additional funds for graffiti cleanup to ODOT's next budget.
Everybody, I think, wants us to make sure that we can do what we can to stop this and to clean up the community.
Now, as for the tagged exit signs, Don tells me that they will most likely have to replace them rather than cover the paint up, of course. And they're not cheap. They've run for about $8,000 each. David, back to you.
A revolving door, you got to do it, got to clean it up. Thank you, Daisy. Well, more children all over Oregon are about to get a jump start on reading, thanks in part to Dolly Parton, the singer-songwriter and philanthropist. She has a program that gives free books to kids 5 and under. Ashley Grams is here with a look at how Dolly's Imagination Library is now expanding its reach. Ashley?
David, the goal here is to use state money to support nonprofits that sign up for Dolly's program and then offer free books to kids in all counties in Oregon.
Well, hello, Oregon, it's Dolly.
A special announcement from Dolly Parton.
Oregon is officially expanding my Imagination Library statewide.
Thanks to $1.7 million from Oregon Senate Bill 5506, Dolly's Imagination Library will expand throughout the entire state, offering every kid under 5 years old the chance to receive a free book each month.
We know that this will change kids' lives.
Nice. Governor Tina Kotek celebrated the expansion on Wednesday in Salem.
We are in it for the long haul for every kid in this state, to make sure they love reading.
The program is already operating in Oregon through 55 programs that send free books to over 50,000 kids.
Every child receives a little engine that could, which was one of Dolly's favorite books as a child.
Margie Lau is with the Marion and Polk Early Learning Hub. The nonprofit has partnered with Dolly's Imagination Library for the past 2 years.
We started very cautiously But as other community members learned about the program, they came to us and said, how could we help support this?
Lau says her organization now supports 5,500 children. The goal of this new state funding is to cut costs for nonprofits like Lau's that cover the price of books each month.
It's so simple to do it. Just Google Dolly Parton Imagination Library. It'll take you right to the website.
From there, all you need to do is type in your zip code, find your local partner, and get signed up for free books.
So easy to do. I did ask Governor Kotek why the state decided to put money toward this program and not toward public school funding. She acknowledged that schools are facing a funding challenge, one that needs to be solved in the 2025 session. But she said that this is not a, quote, either-or situation, and the state wants to support education through both public and private organizations. David?
Just one piece of the puzzle. Thank you, Ashley. Straight ahead at 6, summer's on the way, and with that wildfire season, how uneven patterns across the Northwest this winter and spring could impact the risk as things begin to heat up. And new at 6, the search for a beloved otter who went missing from a local park. Then coming up at 6:30, Pat Doris is diving into the allegations of dark money pouring into Oregon's 3rd congressional district primary with Earl Blumenauer's seat up for grabs. Plus, fact-checking political ads makes its return. You're not going to want to miss that. That's coming up at 6:30 on The Story, only here on KGW.